So welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial we are going to learn about arrays in JavaScript. Arrays are important data types and data structures in JavaScript, so it will be an important tutorial for you, especially if you are beginning, because you are going to apply arrays in different areas of your development. There are two methods for constructing arrays in JavaScript, and we are going to look at both of the methods. And for this case, we are going to start with the Array.of. The Array.of is the most commonly used method, but we are also going to look at the second method, which will involve the Constructor method, because you might come across it, and for that reason there would be the need for you to understand how to apply it and how to use it, or even how it is used to construct arrays in JavaScript. To define an array, you can use the keyword const or let, depending on what you want to do. For the const, you use the const keyword when you don't intend to reassign the const, but for the let, so the let keyword, you use the let keyword when you want to assign the array. In our case, we do not intend to assign the array, so we are going to use the const keyword. So after the const keyword, then you give your array a name, the name that you intend to use. In our case, we will use this one. This is simply a name to our array. Then we use the square brackets. These are the square brackets that are used. They define an array. And if we are to console log our array at this point, I would think it is nice for us to console log the array at this point so that we can understand how it looks like. As you can see, we have the array here, but it is empty, and its length is 0 because it's empty. So in our case, we don't intend to define an empty array, but you can obviously start define an empty array at any point of your development based on what you want to achieve. In our case, we want to see how we can use or we can apply different methods onto this array. So I'm going to include several numbers within these arrays. We are going to include the random numbers here. We have random numbers. I think those are enough for this lesson at this point. So now if we are to save the changes, then you will see that the elements that we have included into the array, then they are here, and you can see them. They are here, and now our array is of length 5 as opposed to length 0, as we had seen with the empty array. And one important thing to note about arrays is that arrays are 0 indexed. That is to mean that the index for the first element in this array is 0. So this is the index here. The index for this element is 0. The index for the next item is 1, as you can see here. So it proceeds like that. You can see, one thing to note about the indexes and the length is that the indexes of an array is less by 1. That is to mean that the length or the index of an array is less by 1 the length of that array. So as you can see here, the length of our array is 5, but the index of our arrays is 4. That's an important thing to note, and we are going to look at it later on in our tutorials to see how it benefits us or how we can make better use of it. So this is one of the methods that we use to create arrays in JavaScript. Let's look at the second method, which is the constructor method, and the constructor method is used in some cases, but it is not as common as the array literal method. So, but it is good for us to understand how it works and how to use it to create an array. If you were to use the constructor method, then we would, let me comment this for now because I wanted to just create to do the same here. If we are to use the constructor method, then we would still use the const keyword as we have done before, and maybe give a column array, give our array that the same name as we have done so far. And now we are going to use the new keyword and use the array. Notice what we are doing here. We use the capital A for the array. So we use the array constructor method. This is the constructor method that we are going to use to construct an array. So, and maybe we can simply console log the array as we have done before, and maybe save the changes. So as you can see, we have an empty array as we had earlier on, because we have not included anything within the array. But if we were to include a number, maybe let me use a string, because and save the changes, then you will notice that we have included this element within the array. We have now used the constructor method to construct the array in JavaScript. So you have noted that when we include an element here, it is included within the array. So let's include another one, maybe a B, and save the changes. Now we have two elements. Before we had only one element, but now we have two elements. If you continue like that, you are going to add the elements into the array. But let's apply the same principle using numbers. Those in the previous case we have used strings, or we can still use a 2 there for us to see the difference. If you add a 3 is a string, or a 5 for that case, if you are to add a 5, the same principle will apply. But if we were to use the numbers without converting them into strings, then the case would be different. Let's put a 2 and save the changes. As you can see, now we have an empty element consisting of 2 items. So that's we have 2 items, but they are empty. So this is one thing to note about the constructor method when you are using numbers. So whatever number you put here, then you are going to create an empty array consisting of those numbers of items, but they are empty. So I think this is one of the most important aspects to note about the constructor method, and some of the mistakes that you may make along the way. So as you have noted, when using numbers to construct an array, then you are likely to make mistake. So for that reason, maybe you can we have another method that is we can use maybe an Array.of. You can use that method in order to, if you want to create an array consisting of 8 or any number. So if you save the changes, then you will notice that we have an array consisting of 8. So this is how you address the numbers to overcome that challenge, or that to overcome that challenge related to numbers. So maybe if now we are to include other numbers, then and save the changes, then you can see that we are able to create an array using this constructor method. But you have noted that we have removed the new keyword, but instead used the of method. So this is how the constructor method differs from the array retriever. So I think that you have noted and you have learned something. In the next tutorial, we are going to learn how to apply different methods to an array once you construct it. If you are finding value in this tutorial, please remember to like the video and to subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to proceed with what we have learned so far in order to advance our skills in JavaScript. As I have indicated, arrays are very important in JavaScript, and you need to know much about them and to learn about them so that you can use them comfortably in your development process. So remember to like the video and to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.